Hey guys, Eric Coffie here, host of ScoreContracts.com. Before we get started, I want to remind you, go to my website, Score Contracts, subscribe to my email list. I'm going to send you secret things that you're not getting out there that I'm not posting on YouTube. They're going to help you win your first, second, or third military contract. Also, check out /resources for some goodies, hand guides, agreements, sample documents, anything that you need. We're going to make this the all-encompassing website for teaching people how to win government contracts. All right, now, for today's video, we're discussing FBO. What is FBO? How to use FBO? And I'm going to teach you 6 ways that I use FBO to make money. Remember, I'm doing the same thing that you're doing. I'm a small business, and I'm out here winning contracts. I want to teach you how to do the same thing. Stay tuned. Watch the video coming up right now. How I use FBO's to win contracts and make money. I have not done any introductions about myself, but I keep receiving comment from YouTube subscribers assuming that I have 8A certification. And I know that it seems like I promote the 8A program, but it is one of the best programs out there. But just go ahead and just clear the air. I have never once, my company Govcon, which I founded in 2012 to do steel erections, we've never once had the 8A certification. So all the products that I've done back from 2007, 2008, up until today, we're working with other companies who had 8A certifications, hub zones, and those in service disabled. But I have personally never once, my company has never had the 8A. So I just want to clear the air on that. Now let's jump into today's lesson. FBO modules, what you're going to learn today is what is the FAR, what is the FAR, and what is the FBO related to the FAR? What is FBO itself? 6 ways to make money utilizing FBO. I know that's what everyone's waiting for. And then what it is not. I just want to give you guys an overview. I know that people are, that's the first thing that you do once you're registered in SAM. You jump on FBO, you start looking for opportunities. But there's some other ways that people are not telling you out there. There's some other ways that I use FBO to make money that I don't see posted anywhere online on YouTube. I've been looking for it and haven't found it, so I decided to make the video myself. All right, moving along. FAR, which is Federal Acquisition Regulations, they've also known as the FAR, is essentially the Bible of federal contracting. It's what all the contracting officers and agencies use to govern themselves by when giving out contracts, awarding contracts, soliciting contracts, and it's also what you'll be using when you have questions about what does your contract say, what are some of these specific things on there. You're going to be turning to the FAR to reference what do they mean when they say these specific codes. All right, but just for all intensive purposes, know that the FAR is essentially the Bible of federal contracting. Within the FAR, we have subparts, and 5.1 discusses FBO and the meaning of FBO. So 5.101, methods of disseminating information, it talks about, as required by the Small Business Act, contracting officers must disseminate information on proposed contract actions as follows. For the proposed contract action expected to exceed $25,000 by synopsizing in the GPE. GPE stands for Government Point of Entry. And then it says C 5.201. 5.201, the primary purposes. Now this is why they're doing this. The purposes behind this of the notice are to improve small business access to acquisition information and enhance competition by identifying contracting and subcontracting opportunities. This is very important for people to understand, and the reason why I put this slide in here. The idea behind this is to improve small business access to acquisition information. Prior to this being put into law, essentially all of the main top 100 contractors, they were the only ones that had access to all this information. There was no one place where people or companies could go to find out how to do business with the government. So they put FBO in place as the GPE, or Government Point of Entry, to help for purposes of improving small business access. All right. Now, D, the GPE may be accessed via the internet at FBO or FBO's. So Government Point of Entry equals FBO's. That's the history. Now let's jump into defining FBO. The way that I define it is it's a database of all open market contracts over 25,000. Listen to what I said. Database of all open market contracts. All right. And we'll get into that later on. It's a categorized list of the federal agencies because it is very easy to find, very easy to go through, and we'll show you that. And then also it's a searchable, centralized database of tens of thousands of contract actions. So that's the way that I define FBO. Now let's talk about some of the ways that I use FBO to make money. I'm sure that's what you're always waiting for. Number one, and most common is exploring bid opportunities, right? So we go on, you search for solicitations, you add your name to the watch list, you do some search queries, and you start looking for different opportunities. Let me go through and walk you through what that looks like, all right? Let's go ahead and log in. And by the way, you do not have to log in order to look at search opportunities. Oh, I am logged on, so let me log out. All right, now I'm logged out, and anyone can just go on FBO and click search, and you'll see a list of opportunities. All right, so without even having to click anything, without having to log on or put in your registration information, any Tom, Dick, or Harry can go on here and just start searching for opportunities. You can look at, based on your state, based on region, based on certifications. Right now, presently, there's 38,157 solicitations available, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let me go ahead and log on because I do want to talk to you about something very specific. So let me just log on. All right, let's go to opportunities. Exploring bid opportunities, very straightforward. Right now, you can look at solicitation numbers. Most people won't have a solicitation number, but if you do, you can type it in there. Posted date, last 90 days, that's standard. Here, you can look by agency, place of performance state. Let's just choose state. We're gonna click on Alabama, and we're gonna click search. And as you see, there's right now 258 opportunities in Alabama. We could do that for any state. So we'll back out. We'll get back to our 38,000. Now it's 38,180, so it looks like they just added a few. And then we can actually look at, let's say, we want to look at opportunities for HubZone. Click on HubZone, click search, and you'll see 287 opportunities for HubZone. If you want to be more specific, HubZone in your state, let's say Colorado. Okay, there's 5 HubZone opportunities in Colorado presently. But if you look closely here, type, it says award, HubZone, award, HubZone, award, HubZone. So these are recently awarded. So technically, there's only 2 opportunities currently available in the state of Colorado for HubZone businesses on FBO, by the way. That's on FBO. There's dozens more that are not on the open market that are under HubZone, but presently on HubZone, there's 2. All right, let's back out of that. Let's click Colorado, 265 opportunities. Let's see if there's any total small business. Okay, that brings us to 100 opportunities. All right, if we look, we'll see here, it tells you the opportunity, gives you the name, solicitation number. We can click on here and go a little bit further. Let's take a look at this one. Combined synopsis solicitation. We'll click in here. All right, replace granular activated carbon water plant. Most people can't replace a water plant, so it's probably going to put us all out of the mix. But just for purposes of showing you what it is, if you look here, it'll tell you the contracting office address, and then it'll tell you the place of performance. And a lot of times what you'll find, the majority of the times, is that the contracting office address and the place of performance are 2 separate locations. And then you'll get on here and you'll see under packages, you'll find more information. If there's any solicitations, there's an interested vendor list. You can add your name to the interested vendor list. Let's go back out. I'll show you how to do that. Let's click out of here. And I want to show you on one of the other, an opportunity that makes more sense. Let me see if there's anything that makes sense for me. All right, this is cool. I don't do this, but let's take a look at it. And the reason why I chose this is because a lot of people say, Eric, the government doesn't buy what I sell. I sell really weird stuff. It's different. Listen, right now, all-terrain skis, boots, and bindings. Read it here. Reading week. The Colorado National Guard is looking to purchase skis, boots, bindings, and accessories. These are the FAR clauses that we're talking about, 5.52.209. Let's see, where is the scope of work? It looks like this contracting officer put everything in the description as opposed to putting a document that was attached to it. You don't typically find that, but again, everyone's different. Some people are new, so I click the scope of work. Here's the scope of work. I'm going to pull it down. Oh, here it is. Boot purchase criteria. They want Scott Super Guide, Carbon, GX, or equal, 350 sets. So like I tell people, when the government orders stuff, they don't order 1 or 2. Here you go. They want ski boots. They want 350 sets. They want boots weighing 1,500 grams or less, boot sizes at the max size of 26.6. And here's all your criteria. Binding purchase criteria, 350 sets. Ski purchase criteria, quantity 250. It tells you in 100 here. Skis must be white without any decals. Information to be printed on skis, serial number, name of ski, and then the unit designation of accepting unit. So it gives you the criteria so you know exactly what they're looking for. And if you sell ski boots, or you represent someone that sells ski boots, this would be a perfect opportunity for you. Here is the point of contact, James Rawlings. Here's his phone number. They want the order here, Golden, Colorado, and the office is in Aurora, Colorado. All right, very cool. It was posted on August 1st, response day August 17th. Now, if you are interested, click Add Me to Interested Vendors. It adds you to Interested Vendors list, and here you are. Put your company name and all your information on there, and you go from there. Easy. Remove me for interested vendors. I'm removed for interested vendors. Let's go back. Now, actually, since we chose Colorado, it does make sense that they're looking for ski boots in Colorado. Let me go to Georgia. And there's 217 opportunities for small business in Georgia. Same thing. Now, there's a couple things you can do on here that we talked about. So we saw this is how you do an easy search. Let me show you a couple tricks. Let's go to advanced search. And under advanced search, we can look under zip code. Now, I'm in Florida. What I do is I'll type in like the first 2 digits of zip code. I'll put a star after it, and then I'll hit search. And what that means, an asterisk means, is it's everything 33 that starts with the zip code 33. So there's 808 opportunities. By the way, let me go back in. Let's see, if we're in 331, you could do 331 asterisk. And then it's the same thing. 3317 asterisk. All right, so let's stick 33 asterisk. And we can look at pre-solicitations, combined synopsis, right? And sources sought. That means these 3 means they have not been awarded. And so there's still a potential opportunity for you to participate in that. And then let's do a search. That leaves us with 419 results. And then what we can do is we can create what's called a search agent. Save the search agent. So you label it. So we could put 33 star agent. We could save and schedule the search agent. Checking yes will enable your agent to be run on a scheduled basis. I said yes. And then you tell it how often you want it run. We'll put it 2. So it's basically weekly. Let's put it monthly. So it'll be twice a month. Save. And now that's scheduled on my search agents. You can go to my search agents and you can see here where I've put in there different search agents for different criteria. Prefabricated structures, pre-solicitations, 8A Georgia. And then what this will do is this will send you an email with all of the things that meet that criteria that come up. That way you're not looking on a regular basis. So that's how you set up a search agent. That's how you search for solicitations and add your name to a watch list. Let's go back to our presentation. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, research and learn about contracts and pricing. Identify awarded projects, pull down the specifications, and review the pricing. Now, how do you make money with this? Because what you'll learn is you'll know how to price jobs for future references. So let's go back to my FBO. Actually, let's go to opportunities. All right, we're going to take this down. And now what we're going to do, we're going to actually look for award notices. And because we're curious about pricing, we're not going to be particular on state. What we're going to look for is actually, let's search for our NAICS code. So instead here, because again, we want to learn about pricing, right? So award notice, and let's look for janitorial services. Let's click search. All right, and these are really old. This were in 2013, this were in 2012. Let's click it to see if there's any information. All right, this was a $551,000 contract for janitorial services. Let's go and look at packages. Here is the sample package, right? So what you can do is, you see here, the base year janitorial services at TS Airport, Fort Lauderdale Airport. Oh, that's interesting. That's right in my backyard. Let me widen this for you guys. This is actual 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. So this contract went out, and what you can do is you can extrapolate is that this person, this company, Sand Spring Development Corp, won the contract for $500,000. What I would do, you can go in and see exactly what the scope of work was. We just showed you. Who is the current contractor and what's the current contract amount? It tells the current contractor around this. The value of the contract is $325 for 4 years of performance. And so that means that the new contract for 4 years of performance was the $500,000 mark. So that's how you would go back and find contracts And then you can measure yourself against them. You can extrapolate and get an idea of what the pricing should be around there. So it's a way to kind of benchmark yourself without actually having to be, clueless and lost in the dark and, unsure or unclear if what you're doing makes sense. Now, will that happen for every contract? No. But this is just one tool or one other way, like I said, that we use this tool to actually do some research and find out about pricing and contracts. All right, moving on. Number three, discover networking opportunities. One of the things that I like to talk about with people is in the government arena, it's all about, establishing yourself. But in the beginning, when you're not established and you're just getting started, you're learning, you need to go out there and make connections with people. You need to go to events and conferences and start learning who are the players out there. And you'll find out it's like anything else. Sitting behind the computer is fine, but unless you're out there in the world and you're talking to people and learning about where the contracts are, where the opportunities are, you're never going to be able to actually succeed. So you got to get out there and start networking with people and making connections. So that takes us to number 3. Let's go with my FBO. I need to get back to the home screen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to log out. It's taking me back to the home screen because I don't know how else to do it. And then here on the right-hand side, you see there, small business events, search now. And here's a list right now of 153 events. So listen, there's an event for everybody. Here you are. There's an event here, vendor outreach session, small business event, Department of Human Resources in California, Hub Zone, Naval Future Contract Small Business Expo, town event here, Towson University, Oklahoma City, Tacoma, Washington. I mean, there's events for everybody. So wherever you live, there's an event in your town. Keep looking. There's 121 plus events. We're talking about 6 different ways that I use to make money, but these events are priceless. You're going to get out there. There's going to be contracting officers, contracting agents. There's going to be small business specialists, OSTABUs, anyone who represents that particular agency. They're going to have representatives out there on their behalf because this is part of their obligation. So they're going to be there. You can talk to them in person and find out, hey, how do I get started? I'm new to this industry, so I'm trying to break into the market. Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to see? You get out there and you start talking to those people, and you'll see what I like to say, the magic starts happening. Just get out there, talk to them, and find out where the opportunities are and how can you break into that market. Number 4, we talked about networking, but finding subcontract opportunities. Teamwork makes the dream work. Now, for me, this is the number 1 reason to use FBO out of all 6 reasons. Because what you want to do is we want to start looking at companies who recently were awarded projects and then solicit them for work. And when I was the incumbent, a lot of times on projects, people would call me all the time. They would say, hey, we saw that you won this contract. We also put in a price to someone else regarding that, and we want to know if you want to accept our price. Perfect. So that's the same thing people did to me. So I'm telling you guys, it's the same tactics that I want to tell to you guys to employ yourself. You find out. Let's go in, look at opportunities, and I'm going to pick Georgia, and we're going to say award notice. Click search. Today is, I believe, August the 4th. So this was yesterday. Alpha detectors, cones for P. Nixon, Axiometh. Design, build, bridge, and construction services for modernization of U.S. National Poultry Research Center. If you do bridge work, if you do design work, if you do anything, oh my bejesus, look at this, $141 million contract. These people can't possibly do all of this. By the way, this says base award only. You know what that means? There's going to be some more contracts coming on. And let's just take a look at what this involves. The USDA, Agricultural Research Service, intends to issue a request for proposal for replacement of the Southeast Poultry Laboratory at this place in Athens, Georgia. It's a design-build contract. Here's your background. The staff currently conducts research activities in more than 30 buildings, combined floor area of approximately 80,000 gross square feet on a 32-acre site. The offices, they're crowded, they're poorly equipped. Okay, the construction campus is from the 60s. Now, what they want to do is demolish 29 buildings. Hello, demolition contractors, where you at? Okay, approximately 69,000 gross square feet to construct 4 new main buildings. Okay, screaming, concrete guys, masonry guys, rebar guys, steel guys, some smaller support buildings. Where are the guys that do fire stops? I mean, if you're in construction, you need to be on the phone with these people right now. If you're in construction and you're in Georgia, I'd be on the phone with them right now asking them, Where are the gaps in that they don't have currently bid out? And I promise you that if they were just awarded this yesterday, they have a lot of gaps. They're looking for subs. They are looking for people to help come in and fill in some of those requirements. I mean, this is a huge project, and they're probably on a short window of time to get it accomplished. So they're going to be looking for, it's probably almost impossible for them to have enough people to throw at this. I mean, considering the idea that right now, see, here it is. Contract performance time is 2,008 days. Okay, so what is that? Let me pull up my handy dandy calculator. 2,008 divided by 365. All right, so that's a little bit 5.5 years. I mean, a lot of people can eat off of this kind of contract. So this is an example of, I mean, I just went really quickly and said Georgia, and then here's a solicitation. I'm not going to pull it down because for something that's 141 million, that thing is probably 500 pages. But you can pull down the solicitation. Take a look. It's going to give you the scope of work. It's going to tell you what's all involved. And if you do anything related to this stuff, and to me, if you're in construction, your work related to this stuff, then this is going to be a perfect opportunity for you. I mean, that was just, the third thing that I pulled down? Study fire alarm system. Come on, guys. You're telling me none of you guys out here do that? Tactical unmanned aerial vehicle. I got a buddy of mine. He does stuff like that. Dry cleaning, laundry. Hey. Okay, this is a small contract, so they probably got this covered. But what I would say is we go back and we cross-reference this company, and we see how often are they winning these types of contract awards. Because if you have an ancillary service related to dry cleaning and laundry alterations, maybe you can offer. Okay, and look, see this contract is pretty small, but they've got 2-year options to renew it. Maybe you can offer to help support them. I mean, it's a small contract, so I would probably say no. But either way, if that's your business, I mean, you need to be reaching out to these people. Let me see if there's anything else in here worth looking at. Security services, dental, surgical instruments, training range, blood pressure monitors. Hey, we got nurses. Software. Where are my software guys at? I mean, LED, I saw down there. Where are my lighting guys? Gates. Hey, where are my fence guys? I mean, there's stuff out here for you guys. There's work for everyone. Like I said, when the government's spending $500 billion, I mean, there's work for all of us. So that's number 4, finding subcontract opportunities. And like I said, when I was the incumbent working for the primes, I mean, these guys were always looking for people. Somebody pulls out, someone's busy, someone can't show up, they can't perform. And for whatever reason, there's a variety of reasons why people, they run into a situation where they need subs. And so you just want to make sure that you're standing in place, ready to go when they call your name. Number 5, agency entity research. All right, now, what I mean by agency entity research is, in some of my previous videos, you pull down what's called the forecast list for the agencies, and then you can cross-reference the name of the contracting officer and agent that you find from FBO. I did not prepare I don't have a forecast list in front of me, but I did show you in FBO where if you click on any of the awards, any of the solicitations, at the bottom, hold on, let me go back. On any of these, if you click on it, you see at the bottom it has here the point of contact, the contracting officer, phone number, and fax. So if you have your forecast list, and for whatever reason the information doesn't appear accurate, you can come back in here and look. See, here's all the agencies. It shows you a list of them. Right now, there's 132 agencies. And you go back here and look. There's all the notices. And you can cross-reference and find out who were the contracting officers. So this is the way that I cross-reference the forecast list against FBO, because FBO, those people that are on FBO are actually the people that, they're putting contracts out. So those are the people that you can talk to. Number 6, introduce yourself to future clients and prospects. Now, this one, actually the SBA taught me this trick. And let me tell you, it actually works. It's pretty good. I like it. It's a good trick. Close some of these windows out. All right, let's go in opportunities. Let's go to advanced search. And what we're looking at is sources sought. Let's pick another state. Let's go to Kansas. Hopefully I don't have the janitorial in there. I want to take out janitorial. Okay, good. Nothing selected. So sources sought here. When they set aside sources sought, there's currently 44 opportunities in Kansas. What it is the government wants to determine if there are enough small businesses in in that particular field that they're looking for that product or service, there's enough small businesses that respond, then what they'll do is they will set aside that request for proposal or the RFA. They will set aside that opportunity for that particular small business criteria. And this is a good way to start narrowing down these procurements, right? So this is the way that the government says, okay, let's determine who's out there, what small businesses are out there in the area that have the expertise, and what small business criteria will yield the most, the most respondents. So sources sought for us, what we did was, if you were wanting to get to know people, this is a way that you're not bidding a project. What you're doing is you're putting together what's called a letter of interest. And let's just go into hospital demolition. That's pretty cool. So sources sought synopsis. So again, it's not a contract. It's not a bid. All they're doing, see what it says? Not a solicitation for proposals, and no contract shall be awarded from the sources sought. They are seeking preliminary planning purposes to see whether or not there are any potential proposals, requests are accepted with this source sought. Oh, this is Kansas City Corps of Engineers. I've worked for these guys before. They want to see if there are any small businesses out there and what criteria, women, hub zone, 8A, that can actually perform this kind of work. And it talks about destruction of a 300,000 square foot building, move of underground storage tanks, fuel disposal. I mean, this is a huge contract. And then what it says is submission requirements, right? So you put your name, address, point of contact, your DUNS number. Hey, you're interested in providing a bid on pending solicitation, your capability, your type of business, your business size, if they're a joint venture, like your bonding capability, and then up to 10 similar projects completed by your company. And what they call is a letter of interest. This is in Fort Riley, Kansas. Here's Dominic Howard, contract specialist. What happens when you start sending out these, responding with your letter of interest? And by the way, if anybody wants, if they send me an email, eric@scorecontracts.com, I will send them the letter of interest that I use, that I've used on hundreds of particular sources sought projects. It's the same format. I just change around and put the information in differently as it applies. So if you want to see what mine looks like, just send me an email. I'll be glad to shoot it over to you. I'll pull it up in a minute, but if you want the actual, Word version that you can take and play with, I'll be glad to send that to you guys. Now, what this does for you is it gets you and your company in the front of the eyes of this person, Dominique Howard, and also anyone else on her team that is looking at capabilities of these companies that can perform this work. That's not to say you're going to get this particular project, but what will happen is they will understand of who you are, who your company is, and what your capabilities are. And that's the best way when you get out and you start wanting to meet and talk to small business specialists. When you go back around and you call this Kansas City Corps of Engineers and you say, my name is Eric Coffie, they will already know you because you've responded to several of these sources sought notices. You'll be on the top of the mind and they'll already have an idea of who you are. Well, that's what I always encourage the contracting. If you're starting out, respond to the sources sought and let them know who you are and what you're capable of doing. And then that way, what will happen is you're in their top of the mind because they have to read this. This is not something they throw in the garbage. They're reading this information to make a determination of how to go with this particular project, whether they should put it aside for 8A, should they put it aside for hub zone, should they put it aside for women, should they put it aside for service disabled veteran. So you want to look at these sources sought here and make sure you respond with a letter of interest. They're asking you to send them your information. Where else do people say, hey, look, tell me who you are and what you can do? This is what they're doing. They're soliciting the feedback from the public, contractors, right? All of us out here, and saying, who are you? Where are you guys at? Anywhere in the world, somebody show up and tell me you can do this. And again, they just want to ensure that when they set it aside, they're going to get the proper amount of companies that can respond so that it becomes somewhat competitive process. All right. So you want to look at sources sought. So we just went through the 6 ways that I use FedBiz Ops to make money. Number 7 is actually not a way that I use it to make money, but indirectly, I used this tactic before to get me in front of a small business official, small business specialist, or OSTABU, and that turned out to yield me a contract that I was awarded in terms of to actually perform some work on the actual military site. So indirectly, it did make me money. Let me talk to you about number 7. This is how you gain access to facilities. Sometimes what you'll find is there are your small business specialists, your OSTABUs, are located inside of a military facility and you don't have the ability or access to that facility. So this is what you do. Let's take this off. Let's look at pre-solicitations, combined synopsis solicitations. Let's do a search. All right, pre-solicitation, renovate pool house, hub zone, preparing a file, this person you want to speak to, work to be done, residential building, no electrical services. All right, so they want to build some cool stuff. All right, see right here? Site visit, Thursday, August 17, 2017. What you want to do is you're going to reach out to Sabrina Butler, and you're going to send her an email, give her a call, and say, hey, Sabrina, my name is Eric Coffie. I'm with Evan Coff. We see here that you've got this request here for this bid coming up. Renovate Cork and Pool House Building 446, Fort Stewart, Georgia. Hub Zone set aside. We are a Hub Zone company. We're very much interested in participating. We see that the site visit is coming up on Thursday, August 17. And what we want to do, how do we get scheduled to make it to that site visit? She tells you what information you need to send. She sends you an email, and then essentially you respond back to her with all the information. And voila, Thursday, August 17th, you'll be on this particular facility in Fort Stewart. Wherever this building is, you'll be on Fort Stewart. I don't know if that's an Air Force base or a Marine base. So you'll have access to that facility. But that's essentially the idea. I mean, whatever your OSTABU is or your small business specialist is, whatever base they are, just go back, find out what upcoming bids there are for that particular base, whatever pre-solicitations, and whatever combined synopsis solicitations are. Find one that's related to construction, because if it's related to construction, then what will happen is they have to have a walkthrough site visit where you go out and you see the actual project, because in construction they want you to be liable, so they have to let you see it, all the conditions in place. And so you just go back, you'll find a construction project, reach out to the person, set up to be part of the site visit, the walkthrough, and then what you'll do is I would schedule my meeting with the OSTABU for the same date that you have access to that site visit. So once you finish the site visit, then you go over and you have your meeting with your small business specialist. And voila. That's how you actually get access to the military site. By the way, if you have a question about OSTABU and what they are, I do have a video on OSTABU small business specialist, so I can explain further. This purpose of this slideshow today was not to explain exactly what an OSTABU was, so that's why we didn't explain it. Now, we talked about 6 ways to make money. I threw in a 7th way as a bonus. Let's talk about some of the misconceptions of FBO. FBO is not a marketing or advertising tool. It is not a direct source of winning contracts, and not all contracts above $25,000 are posted. What do you mean? Remember what I told you. The contracts above $25,000 are posted are the ones on the open market. There are tens of thousands of contracts that are not on open market, that are under some sort of other vehicle that do not meet the requirements to have them be posted on FBO. And when I say do not meet the requirements, I mean there's exclusions, there's other provisions that do not force or make them mandatory to be posted in FBO. So keep that in mind, that when you're looking at FBO and you're seeing there's 38,000, whatever, I mean, there's probably 80,000 contracts out there, but only 38,000 are posted in FBO. Not a direct source of winning contracts. What I mean by that is there are people out here. I have won a few contracts FBO, but 90% of my contracts are direct bids. Again, like I said, I work with 8A contractors. I work with companies that are small businesses that have one of these certifications, and we are doing direct negotiated contracts that, again, they make it on FBO only after they've been awarded, if they even make it on FBO. So by the time you find out that existed, we've already finished the contract and gotten paid, and we're out of there. All right. So that's some of the misconceptions of FBO. One of the things I like to say, FBO, it's kind of like baking soda, right? So you can use it for toothpaste, you can use it for cleaning your house, you can use it for washing your clothes. You know, there's a lot of things that FBO does or is, and there's a few things that it isn't. So just bear that in mind. We'll look at FBO. I mean, don't think there's only one way to use it. That's why I want to make this video today, to show you all kind of ways to use FBO. Again, if you want to learn how to win contracts without actually being certified 8A, certified sub-service disabled, or women-owned, I've got a free course coming up, Govcon Giants, winning contracts like Boeing, go to scorecontracts.com/resources and register for my free course on Govcon Giants, winning contracts like Boeing, where I teach you how to win your first military contract without a certification. All right. You don't need FBO. FBO is one way to win contracts, but the same way I taught you today, 6 ways to use FBO, I'm going to teach you 6 other ways that you can go out and you can start winning contracts today in the next 30 to 90 days without having to be certified in any of the certifications. All right. Same way I did it, the same way I continue to do it. Best of luck to everyone. Thanks for watching this video. Hey guys, if you like that video, you like what you saw, click the subscribe button to my left to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, we've got a bunch of goodies for you below at scorecontracts.com/resources. Stay tuned for this next upcoming video.